Welcome back to Hard Unduro, and today I'm with Cade from the Geelong Motocross Club, and I'm going to be going out and doing something that I'm a little bit terrified about. We're going to be going out and doing some track finding for an event they've got coming up. So, Cade, what's the event and what's the idea behind it?
Yeah, thanks very much for having me, Al. So the event it's a combined state and national title event. It's rounds 3 and 4 of the Australian Off-Road Championships in conjunction with rounds 3 and 4 of the Victorian Off-Road Championships. So what that is, it's a 2-day event on April 20th and 21st at Mount Misery near Warborough in sort of Western Victoria. And we're going to have all the best riders in the country and the state there, and for 2 days of racing. Nice. And our job is to put together a track to cater for those guys.
Yeah, so today basically, what's the intention? We've got to find a few new trails, and then you've got to cater for, so is it expert, pro and clubman? Is that the categories?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So at the moment, we've pretty much got a blank canvas there in terms of, I think there's probably about 400 to 500 acres to play with. Which is quite a lot.
On the aptly named Mount Misery.
Mount Misery, yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Sounds great.
Yeah, so we've got, I suppose at the pointy end, you've got, the top guys in the country, the likes of Daniel Milner, Andy Wilkes, Riley McGilray, Tom Mason, and a few others. So we've got to come up with a track that's going to challenge those guys. And I sort of look at it in terms of we're trying to prepare them and propel them onto doing stuff like the World Enduro Championship. So we need to have a track to fit that caliber of rider that's going to prepare them to, go out on a world stage. But then quite conversely to that, we've also got kids that are on, 65cc bikes that need to be able to get around this track, or at least portions of it anyway. So there's a fair bit of work that goes into designing a track, catering for, your top level riders to then, your small juniors as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think my only contribution today is going to be showing you what the clubman category might struggle with.
I don't think you're going to be the only one, Al.
Yeah, well, maybe not. But, mate, I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like, it's a little bit intimidating going out doing these things, but that's kind of what it's all about, is we see all these things on TV and YouTube, and I am really just keen to see how you go about picking these sort of new tracks and what's suitable for the 3 categories. So let's get out and do this, and we'll maybe have a chat afterwards and see how we went.
Sounds good. It's going to be an adventure.
All right. Well, team, we are off on our first recce of a hard enduro. So I'm out with the Geelong Motocross Club today, who are running a championship event in April. And so Furs and I are going to be partaking in a few components of this. The first being some reconnaissance of this area up at Mount Misery. So looking forward to seeing how the team scout all the routes, and whether I'm the worst rider in the group, and what some of these gold class lines are going to be like. So as you just heard, we're going to go off and do a bit of a recce of the whole area. We've got this big rocky hill area to use. We're going to do a bit of a loop, and then we'll start picking some lines up over the hill and through all the rocky sections. Should be interesting. Yeah. Bit dusty, hard to see the lines when I haven't been here before. It's pretty bloody steep. Just don't want to lose the front wheel down here. Yep, that's fucking steep. That's right at the edge of my fucking comfort level, for sure.
So most of what we're going to do here is try to scout some new lines essentially over these rocks and all this area. No one's really ever ridden this, so we're just going to be moving backward and forward through these areas trying to find something challenging enough for the riders, but where there's a few options for the other categories to get through as well. You can see just how steep this is. We're trying to get going on this again. See how much the back wheels step out here. And, I mean, really, yeah, this is...
Whew, that is, yeah, gets the fucking heart going a bit. This is where these beta front brakes, even with a pad change, are a little bit sketchy. Oh. Yeah, so that was pretty intense. There was a lot of off-camber, very steep downhill sections on rock, which is not the sort of thing that we've done a lot with hard enduro. So it's good, pushing the limits a bit already today. And this is what these events are about. Trying to give people confidence to come out and have a crack like I am today. Just push yourself a little bit every now and then with some incremental exposures.
So on a lot of these sections, I think they are going to use these established trails, and there'll be some faster open sections. There's still a lot of rocks and things to bump along and bump over here, but this area is just spectacular. I mean, have a look at these views. You got this beautiful rock granite hill, all these nice cross-cut trails, and everywhere I look is just spectacular. So I think at this section in a minute we're going to start trying to find new lines, but these established tracks are awesome.
Yeah, straight up we go. Jesus, that's fucking steep. Yep, this is very much at the limit of my capability here. I'm out with some much better riders. He did stay up in there, did he? I can't even stay with the pack. Very steep lines coming down this hill. The boys are just searching for a route up.
What's that going to be acceptable?
You're going to keep going up and coming back down them and checking them, or are you going to go up and over this one?
I'll keep going back up and we'll just have a look side to side, see if I can find
Yeah.
the path of least resistance.
Yep.
I reckon.
Cool.
And come back down and
Yeah, might just track from down here for a bit. And it's fucking steep country.
bit of trial and error.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep going up and down this section for a while, trying to find some balance. We're going to have to serve all three categories, and the juniors going up and down here, so you can get a bit of an idea of how steep this is, and there are no trails up here, so this is really tricky. Oh, he's down. Yep. Oh. It's not a... Alright, we'll watch these guys go up and see what one we're going to take. Going straight up the middle, so we'll see how we go. Oh, it's bumpy up here. So all just these tufts of grass and rocks everywhere that you can't see. Now we're going to try and take off and turn around a couple of rocks. I think I'm going to struggle with this. Struggling to get going. It's too steep to get traction here at the moment. It's looking like a tricky pivot here to try and get going.
Fuck yeah.
To have another go at it.
Fuck, I can't. Fuck's sake.
Right, let's go. Round this rock. Let's get it moving. Oh, it's bogging. when it steps out to the side, it's so hard to keep it going.
Cross trainer for this out.
Fuck, I'm still at my limits. So much cross camber stuff.
Yeah, no, that's the.
It's probably what I need to do, but it's
I'm thinking we go around here, a flat spot there,
yeah.
pick up between those two large rocks.
Okay, up we go again. So we're really just trying to bed in some lines here and see what options are going to be available. So straight up this time, not trying to worry about getting around those rocks so much, and see how far up I can get. Come on. Okay, so now Kate and the other guys are just going to keep coming up and down here, trying to bed in a line. Look how tall he's standing up on that bike there, and the back is drifting out. I really don't think the camera shows you how steep this is. This is very tough country. Slow around the rock, now send it. Nice. You can see the back wheel coming around when he locks up the back brake there. Very steep and rocky country.
Yeah, I'll give it a crack. See what that way's like, huh?
Okay, here we go. Another line. I'm going to get up between these rocks this time. Straight up. Ooh.
Nope.
Maybe I was supposed to go there. Alright, let's try that again. At least I get a straight run here. Come on, let's get some momentum. Let's go. This is where I keep getting stuck. Come on, Greta. Up you go.
You need to find something harder for the X-train.
Fuck. Have a go on it.
Okay, so we want to use some of this rock section here It's really good fun trying to roll through this stuff, but we have to be careful that there's no massive drop-offs, because while we might just be cruising through here today, some of these pros are going to tear through here, so we're being mindful of what is too much of a drop-off and what you can work around.
Alright, this is pretty fucking steep off camber. Let's see how we go. Oh.
So we're working our way across this cross camber stuff here, and there are some sort of animal tracks, but it's very hard to ride across this. I think even when I've ridden cross camber on a trail, the trail sort of works itself in flat, so your tyres are still kind of on flat ground. But here, your back tyre just wants to pass you all the time. It's very challenging. I'm really struggling to try and find where to put my weight on the bike here to be able to cruise through it. Oh, old mate's down. Oh, he's had a tumble there. Gee, that just shows you how steep it is right here. He's lucky to have pulled up as quick as he did there. If you don't get a foot down early enough, you are over. So now we're going to work our way down the hill, and this is really steep. You just got these bits of grass with rocks behind them. And what we've been discussing is that we need to pick some left and rights so that they have to maneuver their way down here, because the pros will just smash their way down here, and that's not going to be good for anyone. There'll be no safety element at all, so we've got to find a way to slow them down here.
Very fucking steep down here. Oh. Yeah, it's a hazard. That happened on the first one you were going up as well, yeah. Keep the spectators away from like straight down from it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was more worried about it sort of punching the tank, but just ripping all plastic.
Oh, fuck. You'd be happy to know I got it. You'd be happy to know I got it. Yeah. Fuck, that's sandy.
So now we're going to run some tape along one of these areas we've been going through. We'll be coming back here in a few weeks again to establish this a bit further, so at least if we mark it, we know the areas that we've scouted and where we want to bring certain sections through. Even this section of sort of old all drive track is just so rocky and bumpy. It's really going to be technical with lots of people coming up here. Nice easy spot here to put on some tape. This one's not so easy. Have a look at the cross camber here. Try and get going out of these ferns. Just loose dirt and rock. A lot of fun for the people racing coming through here. Here we go. Let's see if we can turn and keep going. Come on. Get some power there. Let's go. Let's go. You can see how hard I'm working here. Come on.
This what we're doing here, running all the tape, is actually pretty cool because it's really challenging me to sort of pick spots that I need to stop and work along the bank a little bit, and that's a bit unique for me. Like, now I've got to try and get myself going up this hill again, so this is exactly the sort of skills that I need to be pushed for, really, so it's good. Alright, send it. All the back wheels coming around. There we go.
Well, we're going to head up along this ridge line. I think once we get up to the top, it's all going to be rocks and very technical. Don't know how steep this looks, but this is like straight up the spine of a ridge. I think this is going to be all rocks here. Oh yeah. This is very precarious off camber. Big rocks to try. Some big rocks to try and pick our way through here. Pretty cool little rock carving, eh? And then we're going to have to just drop down to the road. Oh Jesus! Won't be riding down this. Follow it maybe.
Boy, you can't. Oh. It's not awkward at all. Did you just ride off that?
No, I just slowly picked my way over it.
Oh. 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 Yeah, good. Ah, fuck.
Asking for trouble. Fuck zero. That'll be 2/5. I need the lubrication. 2/5 of fuck all.
Well, that concludes the day of recce. There's certainly some challenges for me there. That was some very steep, rocky and off-camber terrain. But it was really good fun. I really enjoyed that sort of reconnaissance side of it, and probably gained a few skills today and did things that I wouldn't try in any other context. So we'll check in you again further along the process, but yeah, this will be the Warborough off-road series.
Well, we've been out and done the track building and track finding, and Kate, it was probably more than I even anticipated, to be honest. Straight out of our little unload spot, it was like right up a hill and then down, dropping off some really big rocks, and it was pretty terrifying, quite frankly. But
Yeah.
You did a lot of track like reconnaissance and stuff today,
Yeah.
and a lot of cross camber stuff too, which I found cool but really challenging. What did you think, you know, with planning the tracks and what you're able to find today?
Yeah, well, look, we're certainly lucky to be able to have the property for one, like the landowners.
The place.
Amazing views, and what a spectacle, like a backdrop and all that sort of stuff. It looks, it's really picturesque. So we're very lucky to have that property for starters, and just to, you know, to be able to, one, and just to have a ride around and explore. But then, yeah, then like we saw to try work out where we can and can't go. Where the bikes, all the riders can and can't go is a different thing altogether. So, yeah, very. I suppose the main challenge there is getting up and over the aptly named Mount Misery.
Yeah, there will be said misery quite a lot, I'm imagining.
Yeah, very much so. I think when the event rolls around, there's going to be there'll be more than one person that certainly gets to experience that. But yeah, so today is all about sort of, you know, seeing where we can and can't go, and I suppose where the player comfort level is for the riders, being us as well. So yeah, I was certainly pushed out of my comfort zone a lot, because it's one thing to follow a track that, you know, looks sort of tricky and it can be a bit hard, but then when you're riding along something where there's no track, like we spoke about earlier, it's quite daunting when you don't know what's over that little crest, or is there something in the grass, or is the ground loose. And yeah, there was one or two times there where I was looking for a bail outline and trying to work out whether I should keep trying to go up sideways or just go back down the hill. So
yeah, watching you like traverse across some of the cross camber and the little gullies and stuff was like, I was pretty terrified just watching. So it was impressive.
I was terrified as well.
Good to know. I think what was really unusual, like you said, we normally ride established trails. Trying to get up these things when there is no trail formed. I mean, you and some of the others were leading up, but I really struggled sort of having my little checkpoints and knowing where to try and pivot and things like that. So it was a really different dynamic, and credit to you and the guys that were sort of trailblazing those tracks. But yeah, I guess once the event comes around, a lot of that will be bedded in and bunted and that sort of thing. But there's some real hard country, and it was kind of cool being like a bit of a pioneer for the day and getting into that stuff. So
yeah, it's quite an adventure, and we're lucky that, you know, within our club, so, you know, it's a joint venture between the Geelong Motocross Club and the Ballarat Rovers Motorcycle Club, and we're lucky that we've got, you know, some very committed people. But it's fun to put together a track, like, you know, sort of exploring and going what's going to work and what's not going to work. So yeah, it's quite fun, and it's good to have, you know, people there of all different levels as well.
I definitely represented for you on the low end, but look, I challenged myself and I did enjoy it. But yeah, it was some things I probably have never done before today, which was pretty cool. So
yeah, well, look, you impressed me, Al, because you came and rode everywhere where everyone else rode as well. So
yeah, well, as you just seen, there's some great footage, and there's quite a few Unduro moments, so it served its purpose. But
Now, in terms of the event, this will be released before the event,
Yep.
but it's private property, so none of you that do watch this will be able to try and head out to that area and have a crack beforehand.
No.
So that's pretty fun. But yeah, look, it was really great to see your club members and your volunteers out there today getting amongst it. And that's, you know, we often participate in these events without really seeing all the work and preparation and you know, I can't even imagine the sort of stuff you deal with permits and local councils and things like that at times. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, credit to Geelong Motocross Club and the Ballarat Rovers, and really enjoyed getting out and looking forward to being around at the event and seeing some of these top riders getting into it. So
Yeah, no, it's going to be a heap of fun. And look, we've certainly got. There's probably going to be at least another half a dozen days where we'll head out and, you know, do some track building or some exploring and see what we can find. So
yeah, well, hopefully Pers and I can come out and have a play again.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you very much for coming and giving us a chop out and being a part of it. It was a good time.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.